Welcome back to the channel Telamont Tanthul, and today we are reviewing the latest tier 3 in the game, and that's Storm in her Inhumans vs X-Men uniform. And it's safe to say that finally Netmarble has given her justice. And we'll get into the different changes to her skills as well as some gameplay to see if indeed she deserves, or she gets the justice that she deserves. Okay, so let's take a look at my build first. I was able to cap the attack speed and cooldown. Crit rate is fine. She has buff to one of her skills anyway. Crit damage is okay. Ignore defense is almost there. Dodge is quite far from the target. The Uru, so it's energy attack, some ignore defense, and crit rate. All the skills are maxed out, so let's take a look at the weather guidance passive. So this one increased to 50%, skill damage by 50% and bonus by 50%. If we let's take a look at the base kit here. This was just 35. She has accumulation here, 3% of true damage dealt to enemy regardless of defense and dodge rate, but this is I think lower than the uniform bonus, the latest uniform bonus. Okay, so this one is Shadowland as well as she has silence here, so this is okay for the beast for alliance battle. Extreme, and then this one it has decreased cold resistance and lightning resistance, which applies to world boss ultimate. Guard against 6 hits. It would have been better if they just give her flat out invincibility. And then this is what I was talking about earlier, a 30% buff to crit rate, and then speed by 6, all attacks and defenses by 30, and then removes incapacitation. Cold damage, this is cold damage. Forge skill is also cold damage, and then it has all defense down up to 60%, applies to world bosses, very good. And then the fit skill, okay, so this one has invincibility, so that's immunity, damage immunity for 6 seconds. This one increased by 20%. The base from her base kit is just 15%, and I think it was only lightning damage, but this one, since her skills also include cold, so that's why the increased damage is not just the lightning damage but all element damage, and that's by 35%. That's pretty high. Her leadership is still sucks. Okay, so we got stage 9 there, and I gave her the CTP of Rage. We capped the 0.9 and the 60% here, but the crit rate is not that high. Dodge is okay. Uniform, I don't have enough buys first, so I only got her 2 legendary, and then these are the options. So dodge here, energy attack, and then ignore defense. Okay, and then the uniform bonus, the one I was talking about earlier. So this one, Goddess Judgment is used, so that's the tier 3 skill. So it accumulates 10% of true damage dealt to enemy regardless of defense and dodge rate. Total accumulated damage, true damage cannot pass 10,000. 1% increase of all attacks, each 1% accumulated damage. So if you notice, some people are actually complaining, why did they take out the damage accumulation from the base kit and put it in the uniform bonus? Yeah, because it's gonna override it. And take note also that the base kit, where is it, accumulates 3% only of true damage. So take note of that, 3% of true damage dealt to enemy regardless of defense and dodge, while the uniform bonus gives us not just 3 but 10% of true damage. So take note of that. Okay, so for those people who are complaining why the damage accumulation was taken out from her base kit. Anyway, her base kit is really not that good, and this one barely serves her. I think I was only able to clear stage 40 or 50 Ebony Maw with this uniform. But with this one, we'll see. Okay, so let's take her to World Boss Ultimate. Alright, so this is stage 80, Ebony Maw. Okay, so normally I open with the co-op skill 3, cancel into 4, cancel into 5. And then we would want to trigger the first skill as much as possible because it has silence on it. And it applies to world bosses. And Ebony Maw is really slippery, so that's why we need to keep her in place. Sometimes Wanda does not strike often enough. Okay, so of course we proc on the T3 skill. The problem with some of her skills, especially the third skill and the fourth skill, I think, is that like Iceman's skills, they are, I don't know, for some reason they could not target the enemy unless Storm is a little bit closer. And this is really, I don't know, this is kind of my pet peeve for blast types. I mean, they are like snipers, you know. They should be able to hit the enemies even if they are far away because they're blast. You can just shoot whatever it is that they have in their arsenal, and then for in Storm's case, it's lightning and ice and any element of nature. So that's it. I really don't like that they limit the targeting for some of her skills. Uh oh, we're gonna die here. Oh, she survived that. This is gonna be pretty tough without Agent Anti-Venom because she does not have heal. Okay, let's just run a bit here. We have more than enough time, so I think we'll be able to clear this with a minute remaining. If you notice also, none of her skills, regular skills, deal that much damage. Anyway, we are on a higher stage, so that's why it's not really that evident, that obvious in terms of what the individual regular skills can do. It's really the tier 3 skills that's doing the job here. So look at that, it's more than 1 bar. Okay, and then let's trigger the T3 skill. Oh, that's amazing. Alright. This time we'll try to see if she can also clear stage 60 Black Dwarf. Second most annoying boss in World Boss Ultimate. It's not really Black Dwarf per se that's really annoying, but it's more of like the environmental hazard. All those things that are stunning us. freezing us. See? Almost. Oh, she almost died there. And his arena is really small. So there's like very little room to wiggle of this environmental hazards. Anyway, I think we can still clear this. Let's avoid that. This shield thing, actually they got this from, they just copied this from one of Crystal's skills. Would have been nice if she also summons tornadoes. I mean, in the T-3 skill, a combination of tornadoes, hailstorm, and then lightning storm, right? I don't know. The devils were probably in a hurry, making the T3 skill. But what's most important is the damage that it does, and I think it, even though it's not as great as, say, Beta Ray Bill's Awakened skill, it still deals decent damage. Okay, so we're down to 4 bars. See, she's stunned again. Oh, and let's not forget the bleed. Also, I think they could have changed also her movement speed. Perhaps make it equal to that of Iron Man or Apocalypse. Alright, for the last gameplay test, we have Giant Boss Raid. Would have been better if it's Galactus though, but we'll make another video for that. So for now, let's try to see how fast she can clear this. We don't have remove debuff though, so we may get frozen here. Take note that she only has 1 invincibility and guard hits. Okay, that's not bad. Although I was hoping that she would melt up to the last HP bar. Okay, we got brainwashed there. Let's just try to be nice to my allies. So technically I could have just stayed there and let them die, but I'm not a douche, so okay. Master mode is angry. Just killed Ancient One and Coulson. Ooh, that's really nice, right? Her T3 skill versus this giant robot. Uh-oh, sorry allies. I can't switch because I have no other tunes left. Okay. That's 2 minutes and how many seconds? 46 seconds. Okay, not bad. Okay, so as you have seen, she has really improved from her base kit and her old uniform, the X-Men Red. This uniform, the Inhumans vs. X-Men, is really worth buying, so do get it while it's still on sale. And she is worth getting to tier 3. Just bear in mind that she is strictly for PvE. There's nothing in her skill, even in her T3 skill, that would benefit you in building her for PvP. So just build her for PvE, and if you are not the PvE type of person, then that's fine. You can just give her some invincibility proc or whatever. Okay, and as for my suggestions, the skills, the individual skills, not the tier 3 skill, 1 to 5, they could use a little bit more buff, although they are significantly better than the base kit and then the old uniform. Still, it would be great if Netmarble can buff at least one or two of them, maybe the fit skill, because this one, when using manual controls, your character will continuously attack nearby enemies. So this one is good to buff a little bit more. And then the leadership, I don't know why they decided to keep this one. This is pretty garbage. This is useless. Speed by 6%. Who needs that? I mean, she's one of the leaders of the X-Men. At some point in the timeline, in the multiple timelines of the Marvel Universe, she has been the leader of the X-Men. So maybe you could give her an all attack bonus so that it would apply to physical and energy damage dealing X-Men or mutants. Okay, and the also the movement speed, it would be better if they could match the one by Iron Man and Apocalypse, because she's supposed to be fast. Besides, she rides the wind, right? So she should be faster than Apocalypse and Iron Man in terms of movement. Okay, so I hope that this video helps you in deciding whether or not to get her uniform and to rank her up to tier 3. Thanks, and see you next time.